What's up, squad? It's your girl D. Yes, and I am back with another video. Y'all, don't curse me out. Don't hate me. You know, I know it has been a long time since the last time I have gotten in front of this screen, but y'all know I love y'all from the bottom of my heart, and I love y'all dearly. But it had just been a lot going on, and I feel like every time I'm away and I come back, that's what I say, it's a lot going on. But I mean, what else can I say? I mean, when life happens, it happens, and you just have to take care of things right then and there. So again, like I said, I truly deeply apologize for being away so long, but as I said, life just happened. And for those of you who don't know, I am a recent college graduate. Yes, graduated from the illustrious Clark Atlanta University with a bachelor's degree in business administration and a concentration in finance and financial planning. That is the reason why I have been gone for so long. Y'all, I had to make sure that I was gonna graduate. I had to make sure that I graduated. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, that's just what it is. I had to make sure that I devoted 100% of my time, my dedication, my focus to my studies so that I can graduate. And I didn't really want to back away from YouTube, but y'all know how I am. When things are going on, I'm not the type that just pick up a camera just for the sake of picking up a camera. Like, I have to deal with things when, you know, right then and there, and I have to devote 100% of my time to it, because when you have a lot of things going on, everything can't get 100% of your energy towards it. So that's how I felt. And as I said, I didn't just want to make videos and put them out there for you guys just for the sake of having videos. I'd rather wait till I'm able to dedicate 100% of myself to it so that I can create quality content for you all. So that is the reason that I was away so long, y'all. I know. Like I said, please don't hate me, y'all. But you know, I had to make sure I was gonna graduate. So that is the real reason of why I was gone so long, y'all. I didn't even, oh my goodness, I felt like this day would not ever come. Oh my goodness. I'm just lost for words, because I'm so grateful, and I owe it all to God, because it felt like this day was just so far away, and I've been working so hard at this for so long, and to see it and be able to reach out and touch my dream, it was just an amazing feeling. So you know, like I said, I wanted to focus all my time on that. And once I graduated, then I was gonna just jump right back in to providing content for y'all. So you guys, being a recent college graduate, and before that a career woman, so to speak, as you could tell from the title of this video, it's how to nail the interview. And as I said, being a recent college graduate, from my experience before and learning everything throughout college, I just kind of wanted to come to you all and give you my tips and tricks on how to nail the interview. Y'all, I have been on so many interviews. Yes, many interviews. You know, it's been a learning experience since from the beginning to thus far. So now I feel like I am very comfortable going into an interview. I'm confident, and I'm not really too nervous when going into an interview now. And throughout the many of years that I've had going on interviews, I just felt like that I took a lot away from those experiences that helped me better myself today when going into interviews. So that's pretty much what I wanted to bring to you guys. I will be really thorough in this video, because I want you all to take a lot away from this video, and I want you to feel confident and be prepared when going into your own interviews. So like I said, I'm gonna be as thorough as possible as I can in this video. And right now I apologize if this video is mad long, but you know, I want to give it all to y'all. I don't want to leave nothing out. I want to make sure that y'all are 100% prepared, because not everyone knows how they should go into an interview and their appearance and how they should conduct themselves. So I just want to bring that all to you all, and hopefully you all like this video. And if you'd like to see what I have to say and my tips and tricks on how to nail the interview, then continue to watch this video. Okay, you guys, starting with tip number 1, it is to dress professional. Always, always, always dress professional. And I always say first impressions are everything, which is why I always say you should dress professional. Just as we judge people out here, although we shouldn't, but we do it anyway, let's be honest. Although we judge people, the interviewer is judging us the minute we walk through those doors. First impressions are everything, so make sure you always dress professional. And when I say that, I mean either wear a pant or skirt suit set. This is very important. And the 3 main suits that they teach you, or anybody will probably have, are black, navy, and gray. Those are the 3 main types of suit, either pants or skirt, that you always want to have readily available for things like interviews. Now, me personally, I have not always worn the matching skirt or pants suit set to an interview, but I always make sure that whatever bottom I had on, I had a blazer to go with it, and I made sure that it was professional. Now, it's a difference between business professional and business casual. So you always want to make sure you're 9 times out of 10 business professional, because you don't want any hiccups. You don't know what type of interviewer you're gonna have. They could just be 100% by the books. They could just be stern. They could be stuck up. They could be anything. You never know the attitude of your interviewer. So to cut out all the nonsense and the chances of you being nixed out, just always go in there business professionals. That's the safest thing you can do. Besides going in there business professional, ladies, we want to make sure that we are, like I said, top notch. We don't want to go in there with our suits or our clothing too tight. Ladies, we have all these hips, we have all this butt, we have all this breast, and we don't want none of that to show. Save that for after the interview. If when you put on your skirt and you get to walking, you got those like baby walking steps, just throw the whole suit away, because 9 times out of 10 it's probably too tight. Just throw it away and get another one. Like I said, we have all this hips, this butt, this breast. You don't want to show all that in an interview. And as I said before, the interviewer 9 times out of 10 is judging you. It sucks, but they are. They judging you. They are potentially seeing the person that could be working with them, around them in the office and whatever. So please just save all the tight fitted clothing for after the interview. You also want to make sure that you're not too loud. And when I say too loud, don't show up there in like a neon green top or anything like that. Keep it in kind of like see, this is a nice color that you can wear, like a blush pink, off-white, what is it, powder blue type. Just keep it subtle. Don't go up there, don't go in the interview wearing too loud of a clothing or revealing. Now you see this is probably kind of like borderline okay, maybe, but anything like lower than that, like you don't want to go into an interview like this. Sorry to be too revealing, but you don't want to go into an interview when all of this is just out. Don't do that. And if your shirt is kind of sheer, just sheer trying to speak correct, y'all, but forgive me, I'm from St. Louis. But if your shirt is kind of sheer, you just kind of wear like a cami underneath, so you won't have the incident of kind of like your bra showing or anything like that. So to avoid any of those accidents or maybes, just make sure you wear a little cami under those. But like I was saying, anywhere from the blush, the powder blue, I believe, like the real light blue, off-white, white, anything in that category is fine. But you don't want to go in there too loud or revealing when it comes to the chest area. Just make sure it's just buttoned up. Don't have your shirt buttoned all the way down trying to look sexy or whatever. Interview is not meant for you to be sexy. Just be professional. Be sexy professional. You can do that. Also, ladies, when it comes to your shoes, now in college they would teach you anywhere between 2 to 2.5 inch of heel is high enough. Now me personally, I can't do the kitten heels. I don't care what the occasion is. I don't care where we're going. I can't do kitten heels, okay? So me, I would say don't go in there with some 6-inch stilettos on. Don't try to avoid all that. Now when you have on pantsuit, if your pants hit long enough, you won't be able to tell. But just to play it safe, just anywhere between, I'll say 3.5 inches is good. Okay, so this shoe right here, now this is my go-to interview shoe. I mean, this is also like if I'm going to work or anything, I will wear this as well. But when I'm going into an interview, these are my go-to shoes. Now you see the heel height is not too tall, and for those of you who don't like kitten heels, it's not too short. Now this is perfect. This height of heel is perfect. This is, I'll say, about 3 inches, because the space in between the nicks in your finger, the bends in your finger, is usually 1 inch, I believe. So this height of heel, measuring from the inside of the shoe, would be perfect to go on an interview. Anything really higher than this, like, you probably want to stay away from, because like I said, appearance. They're judging you on your appearance. They're looking at you as someone who they want to bring into their professional workspace. Now, once you get the job, hey, go for it. Do what you do, boo-boo, once you get the job. But we trying to nail this interview so you can get an offer. So for that, I would say nothing higher than this. This is perfect. If you don't want to do kitten heels and your heels just gotta be high, just wear flats. Just nix everything and wear flats. That always save the day. Also, with heels, ladies, do not wear open toe shoes. No open toe shoes, whether it be heels or flats. It just does not send a professional message, and you just don't want to do that. So no open toe shoes. Always make sure they're closed toe. No matter what type of closed toe, round toe, pointy toe, up toe, down toe, whatever, just make sure they're closed toe. Now moving on to your hands. Now, y'all know we love our nails, honey. We love our nails. We love being spiced up. We love looking cute. With your nails, you don't want to have nails that's too long. Don't want to have nails too long. This length, at least for me personally, is fine for me. And as you can see, I talk with my hands a lot. I really do. That's another thing you don't want to do in an interview. But if you talk with your hands like me, try to find something, sit on them if you have to, put them in your lap, between your legs, hold a pen and a notepad on your lap, anything. Talking with your hands and doing all that, you don't want to do that too much. So if you do talk with your hands, just try to contain it by sitting on them, or any little trick that you might have. But anyway, ladies, like I was saying, for as nail length, this for me personally is a good nail length to have. Anything longer you really don't want to do. But just in case in the interview, just so to avoid all that, again, appearance and what the interviewer may judge you on, don't go too long. Try not to go any longer than this. I say this is fine for me, especially again with the color. You want to stay neutral. So if you have long nails and then a bright color orange polish, then that's gonna really bring attention to you. Again, they're looking at you as a potential employee. So anything in the neutral family, I like to stay neutral. Is okay. That's personally what I like to do. Even if I do like getting bright colors and all this and all that. Me personally, I do. But if I know I'm going on an interview, I make sure that I tone it down and I stick with anything in the neutral family, or kind of like the darker color polishes. That's what I stick with. You don't ever want to go into like the neons and the bright colors or anything like that going into an interview. Just another thing with your appearance is your earrings, ladies. So for me, I don't wear earrings a lot, but when going into an interview, I always make sure, if I am going to wear earrings, I always make sure I have on studs. You don't ever want to go into an interview with hoops or anything like too dramatic. I always just stick with studs. No dangling, no hoops. You don't want to go in there with blinged out earrings. No, you don't want to do all that. I just stick with the simple and subtle studs. That's always a go-to to show up to an interview with. Now with your jewelry, ladies, you again want to always keep it subtle. You don't go in there like you modeling for Jared's and have all these necklaces and rings and bracelets on. No, just have a nice little chain, gold link chain, silver chain, whatever suits you all. Just put on one little necklace. Don't go in there with multiple necklaces on. It's just too much and not professional. And don't go in there with no choker on. Please don't go in there with no choker on. Y'all be surprised how many ladies I've seen do that. But anyway, moving on. Your rings. You don't want to go in there with a handful of rings. Ladies, please don't do that. Besides your wedding ring or whatever ring that you always wear, I would actually say one ring each finger. You don't want to have too many rings and too many distractions on you. One ring each finger. Same with the bracelets. A simple gold or silver bracelet is fine. Don't have all these bangles going up to your biceps. No, we don't need you coming in there sounding like a little wind chime. One little simple bracelet is fine. Professional. Again, ladies, we're talking about appearance, and we have to put ourselves in the interviewer spot, so to speak, because we don't know what type of interviewer we're going to have. As I said before, just as we judge other people, the interviewer is judging us. They're looking at you as a potential employee. They're looking at you, is this someone that I can bring on to my team? Is she professional? They're looking at you like that. So you don't want to just nix your chance simply off your appearance. Just stay professional. One last thing on your appearance. Don't go into the interview looking like you don't need the job. What do I mean by that? I mean, y'all know, ladies, I understand. Y'all love the red bottoms. Y'all love the Versace. Y'all love the Gucci. Y'all love the Balenciagas and all this. Y'all love the Chanel bags and all of that. Leave that at home for the interview. Don't go in that interview looking like you don't need the job, because again, they are judging you. You coming in there with some red bottoms on, your best Chanel bag, they gonna look at you like, oh, I could give this position to someone else because this person really doesn't look like they need this job. Again, it sucks that, yes, we have to be judged because you never know life circumstances. Anything can happen. So it sucks, but that's the reality, ladies. That is reality. Okay, so another tip I have is to always arrive 30 minutes early. You always want to arrive 30 minutes early because you never know what can happen. I've shown up to an interview 30 minutes early and they actually seen me earlier than my time was allotted because they had finished earlier with an interview before me. So they brought me on back to have the interview, and you never know what could go on within the company or what may need to happen. They may need to bring you in quickly. Anything could happen. So you always want to make sure you are 30 minutes early. Also, you want to give yourself enough time just in case you hit traffic. Also, looking for the building. Now, every interview thus far that I've had have not been just like I arrived there and that's where I'm supposed to be. I always have to look for where I'm supposed to go, and because they're always in like those big office buildings where you have different floors and different suites within the building. So give yourself enough time just in case you don't know exactly where the office or the company may be. You want to make sure you give yourself enough time to look for it. Again, traffic. Another thing, gas. What if you forgot to get gas last night and you need to get it along the way? Give yourself enough time to do all those things. I know me, I always forget to get gas, so I always have to get it when I'm in a rush to go somewhere. So just make sure all those things are taken care of and you give yourself enough time. Another tip I have is to know your company. And when I say that, is the big thing is to research. You always want to research so you can find out things about the company you're interviewing for. When I say research key things about the company. Research accomplishments that they've had. You want to research anything you feel is pertinent to you. Anything for like the company could be on Forbes, the Fortune 500 companies. Anything like that. So you want to make sure you know your company because you never know what the interviewer may ask. They could ask anything. So researching your company is a way to just be prepared for anything. For instance, a company that I interview for, the interviewer asked me, why do you want to work for this company? Now, that question, okay, you could give a questions like, okay, I feel this is a good company. And I don't know, you could give anything like that. But me, when I went into that interview and the interviewer asked me that question, I had researched my company the night prior. So by researching the company that I interviewed for the night before, I knew that company had a big community involvement. They did a lot of things with the community, and to me that was wonderful because I love being in my community. I love giving back and I love helping people and I love volunteering. So by me finding out that company had a big community involvement, it was somewhere that I could see myself at. They had the same values as me. So researching your company is important. And again, going along with what I found out about the company that I interviewed for, another thing, when you research, you want to find out things that you like about the company because, as I said, you never know what the interviewer may ask of you. So you want to make sure you're prepared. So if you don't know why you want to work for the company, why should they hire you? If you don't know, they don't know. So why should we hire you? You just want to always be prepared. Find out things that you like about the company. Find out different accomplishments about the company and key things. It could be anything. Like another thing, research the position you're applying for. Now, I don't mean just knowing the title of the job. That's not what I mean. You want to research the position. When you research the position you're applying for, For one, you already know what they require of you, what the duties they require of you to do. Another thing is when you research your position, you are able, when you get into that interview, you are able to correlate your experience of what you did before to the current job that you are applying for now. So again, you never know what the interviewer may ask of you. So it's always good to just research not only the company, but the position you're applying for, because you never know in those, you know how that when you're applying for a position, they have all the information in there about the position and everything. And yeah, we may read the first couple of lines or something like that, just, oh yeah, you do this, do this, do this, do that. But you never know, the position could require you to travel, and you get in there not researching the position and not knowing that, they're gonna look at you like, did you read the duties and the requirements of the position? Because it says in the information that we require you to travel. So it's just always good to have that information at hand when going into an interview, because again, you never know what the interviewer may ask. Another tip I have is to know yourself. Oh, for me, now I know myself, but for me, this particular thing is hard because I can tell you about myself. I know myself. But if you ask me to sell myself to you, that's where it gets tricky for me, and that's where it's always a little hard, because I don't want to downplay my experience, but I don't want to be too exaggerant with what I'm saying. So it's always been kind of hard for me to do. So, but you just make sure you know yourself. When I say know yourself, I mean study your resume. Not only study your resume, but make sure that your resume is updated. You don't want to speak about something that's not on your resume, and you don't want to not speak about something that is on your resume. So that's why it's important to study your resume. Make sure everything on your resume is 100% true. Don't lie on your resume, okay? Please don't, because one point in time, it's gonna come out that you lied, because they're gonna ask you to perform a job or do something, and you're not gonna be able to do it. So please don't lie on your resume. So make sure everything on your resume is true and accurate, because also they may ask you information from your resume. Now me, when I go into interviews, sometimes I may not have looked at my resume for about 1 to 2 months. So I may forget something that's on my resume, or I may forget that I added something, experience that I've gained on my resume. So that's why it's important to just look over your resume before going into an interview, so you just know everything that's on your resume. So my last little tip is, when answering questions, use the STAR method. This is the perfect way to answer questions in interview, because in answering questions, you don't want your answers to be too lengthy, and you don't want to answer questions and you're talking and you're going on, and then one thing leads into another, and then it leads into another, and then next thing you know, you forgot what question you were asked in the first place. So to avoid all of that, you want to answer questions using the STAR method. When I say using the STAR method, I'm saying you want to name the specific situation you had to work in. Along with the situation, you want to name the task that you had in that situation. Name the goal you had to complete within that situation. You want to tell what you did to reach that task. So the action, you want to name the action that took place to complete that task. And last, you want to name the result, so the outcome. So after whatever you did within that situation, what was the outcome? Questions such as an interviewer may ask you, name or explain a time you had to overcome adversity in the workplace. So those type of questions are good when using the STAR method. So you want to name your specific situation. It could be, I had to troubleshoot X amount of computers within a 24-hour time frame. Name the task that you had, the goal that you had to complete. So I was the lead technician on the 5-man team, and I had to disperse figure out a way how to disperse the X amount of computers to each individual so that we can get this, troubleshoot them within the 24-hour time frame. The action you took. I looked at each individual's strength and weakness and what area they were good in, and that's how I divvied up the jobs to each individual. So the result was, by divvying up the jobs as I did, we were able to troubleshoot each computer within the 24-hour time frame, and also we got nominated for Best Office of the Quarter. So that's an example right there when using the STAR method. A couple other things I want to go over before I end the video is make sure you guys have some type of portfolio. Excuse my papers, all my papers throughout the year. But make sure you guys have some type of portfolio to carry with you. The reason I say this is because it allows you to carry pretty much everything that you need for going into an interview, because you don't need to take all the extra stuff. This holds a notepad, a pen, it has a calculator, and a little slot. Notepad, when in interview, you always want to take notes. The interviewer will let you know about the job. They'll tell you things about the job that probably wasn't in the info when applying for the position. They'll just pretty much go over a lot of different things for the job and the company, and so it's always good to just pretty much take notes. And again, it just looks like you're more engaged in the interviewer than just sitting there. And for me, like I said, I talk with my hands a lot, as you can see. So doing that when taking notes, it allows me not to use my hands so much, especially when I'm talking as well. It gives me something to do with my hands. I've never used a calculator in here, so I really don't know why they have the calculator in there. Maybe you need to calculate how much you're gonna be getting a year, a month, I don't know why this in there, but I've never used it, but it comes in handy. But another thing with portfolios, they have, if you can see, they have these little slots. So with this, when carrying a portfolio, when going into an interview, it's always good to have extra copies of your resume. The interviewer, they may not have had time to print off your resume before the interview started, so you have a resume on hand just in case they ask you one. And also when in the interview, so you can have, when you have your portfolio out, so you can just pull it out and you can look at it and reference it whenever you need. So it's always just good to have extra copies of your resume just in case they may ask you for one. The last tip I have for you guys is when the interview is all wrapped up and you've been through all the question and answers and everything is said and done, before you leave that interviewer, that office, you always want to ask for a business card. Believe it or not, interviewers actually are looking to see if you're going to ask for their business card. The interviewer know that with that business card, you're going to follow up with them. That's why it's important to ask for a business card, because it has all their information, from their name, their number, their email. Now, usually back in the day, they'll say that it's best to send thank you notes, but nobody send notes anymore. So when asking for a business card, you're able to send a thank you email. And within that email, you're going to highlight all the topics and stuff that you went over within the interview. You don't have to name everything, but just hit some certain points that you went over in the interview. Thank them for taking the time out to interview you, and then just letting them know that you are very well interested in the position, and such and such. So I hope this video helped you a lot so that you can go out there and nail that interview, so you can get your dream job, because that's pretty much what I wanted to do. I wanted to bring everything that I've learned throughout these years to you all, things that helped me, things that I found out, to you all, so that you all, like I said, can land that dream job. But if you like this video, please comment down below, give a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel, please, you all. I guarantee you, you will not regret it, because I am back and I'm better. And I'm here to stay, for real, y'all, though. But make sure you subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in my next video. Deuces.